Hi everybody. Wanted to jump on. It's going to happen quite a bit actually. So there are two programs that I'm moving through currently right now to help me crystallize the vision for the company that I have started. Actually, I've officially filed the paperwork, and you're currently talking to the founder of We Are Just Us. Products and services yet to be determined, but the company exists now. But what I wanted to say was there are two different programs that I am leveraging currently to help me move through clarifying intention as well as how I'm going to show up and serve within the context of We Are Just Us. One of them is called ULab, and the other is called the Inner MBA. Today's video and focus is going to be on the Inner MBA, but there will be more to come with ULab as well. So the Inner MBA is inaugural, so I'm part of the first of the class. I was part of the first of an external MBA program too at the University of Westminster. But I'm not here to talk about that other than I just realized the parallels. I always seem to be at the start of something. But anyways, the Inner MBA is a partnership between Sounds True, LinkedIn, Wisdom 2.0, Mindful NYU, and about 3 or 4 other organizations that have come together to help help conscious business leaders evolve and grow and expand, both within ourselves. So the slogan is look within, go beyond, but then also within the worlds that we operate in and are creating from, and the people and the businesses that we interact with and are a part of. There's about 1,200 people, I think, that are enrolled in the program, and the kickoff for it, the orientation for it all was yesterday. And Tami Simon, the CEO of Sounds True, one of my unofficial mentors, I have a few, haven't worked with her directly yet, but I love her and I love everything she's doing. But anyway, she asked us at the start of the orientation yesterday to begin with the end in mind. And when I think about that phrase, I think about Stephen Covey, actually. But she kind of asks us, like, again, this goes hand in hand into what I had, my last entry about what's my intention, but why are we here? What was our yes? But go to 9 months from now. So this program is in 9 months, or lasts for 9 months. And there was 3 questions. How do I want to change personally? How do I want my work relationships to change? And how do I want my organizational life to be different? So if I'm forward thinking, if I'm thinking from the end in mind, I've just graduated from this Inner MBA program, what do I want to look like? How do I want to be? How do I want to be serving? What do I want to have cultivated and developed within myself? So I just wanted to jump on here. There'll be a blog entry with this as well, but just to capture that. So in 9 months, how do I want to change personally? Well, one of my intentions for joining is that how I live my life is through my heart, and through being authentic to how I think, feel, am in the current moment, no matter what that looks like, whether that's happy, sad, angry, mad, doesn't matter. Whatever I'm feeling, I want to live it, breathe it, feel it, show up and be present with it. And I also want to provide that space to truly deeply see and hear others, to cultivate really deep, meaningful, heartfelt, authentic relationships. And that sort of governs my personal life right now. But what I would love for it to do, if I'm forward thinking, end of 9 months, end of this Inner MBA program, I want to have how I operate within myself, my connection to my heart, my authenticity, and my willingness to show up and be vulnerable. I also want that to govern not just my personal life, but my professional life as well. As I said, I've just founded my very first company, I'm also in the process of seeking full-time employment in addition to that. So wherever I end up working, as well as I'm cultivating and starting my own company, I want to be able to lead from the heart, and really, truly, deeply allow myself to be seen, as well as see, listen, hear, hold, love others, and provide that space where other people feel safe to show up and allow themselves to be seen, and we all grow deeper within ourselves and within the context of one another. So lots of words there, but to tailor it back a bit, it's cultivating heartfelt, authentic leadership, professionally speaking, as I show up to lead, as well as to just be a part of any other organization that I might find myself working with or for. So how I want to change personally is through that, cultivating heartfelt, my connection to my heart, professionally as well, and truly showing up in my highest capacity and good in whatever context is necessary, professionally speaking. And then how do I want my relationships to change? It's the same. It's really similar. I am at the point in my life where I want to go deep with everything, with my own personal self-development, with my relationships with others. And so I want my relationships to all be deep and meaningful. I also want to be open to growing. And, I'm thinking of one of the things that stood out for me in the orientation yesterday, the Inner MBA orientation. I don't remember who it was, but they talked about how conflict, and I'm paraphrasing using my own words, but how conflict can actually be a source of development and growth, and so that's how I want my relationships to shift, not only in depth and expansion of what we show up and share with one another, but also with openness to growing and changing ourselves by being willing to listen and hear and see the commonality between myself and the other, right? So moving from a me versus you to seeing an us, and really operating from that perspective, even when my personal opinions might differ, and I might be asked to open my perspective, broaden my perspective a bit. So I would say depth, expansion, and openness to really, truly embrace the interconnectivity of us all and of my personal relationships and my work relationships. So there's that. And then how will the world of work change from the work that I'm doing? Or how will the organizations I work with be different? And this one's a little harder for me to answer because it's not super clear yet. But what I have realized, at least through the launch of my own course this last month, 30 Days of Authenticity, was really being humbled by the fact that, I don't actually know anything. My ego likes to jump in there all the time and tell me how much I know and how I actually know everything on the planet. But the truth of the matter is, I don't. And every moment is a chance to learn something new. And I am constantly humbled by how much wisdom I gain from others, from being willing to have a beginner's mindset and be open to new perspectives and to be open to just learning and growing through the wisdom that is shared through others. So I know that exists in most organizations from a hierarchical perspective. So most people expect that from their bosses or the CEOs or what have you. But what I've been amazed by is I learn just as much from my peers or from somebody that's brand new. And so having that openness to learn and grow from literally every single person, on this planet, I believe has something to share and something that we can learn and all grow from. So I feel like my openness to that, as well as the fact that we all have something beautiful to share that we can learn from, as well as my openness or witnessing there's so many different phrases for this. Lynn McTaggart calls it the field. Other people call it the, there's just a lot. Generative field. Otto Schwimmer calls it the generative field. But I've witnessed the power in, or collective consciousness. That's another phrase. But when we're all truly tapped into that, into a shared energetic space, the magic and the mystery and the wonder that can happen from that cultivation and that field. And that's something I love. I think one of the most on this entire planet is the opportunity to experience that. So I hope to cultivate that within my own company, We Are Just Us, as well as I have a sense that wherever I end up next, they are already cultivating it. But to help facilitate that practice and that process, and to make it more accessible, I would say that's a good way of phrasing it, making it more accessible to others, just through who I am and the essence of the work that I do. So yeah, that's kind of, it's not fully landed yet, so it's kind of a lot to try and convey in words, but yeah, providing a space for others, or to access the things that I am already tuning in and tapping into, and facilitating that journey and that movement for them, as well as cultivating cultivating a learning environment that's really truly open and responsive to the needs, strengths, and gifts of every single person that touches that field. So there we go. That's as much as I have for today. I will be capturing as much as I can through both of these programs. I haven't figured out the exact format yet and the way that it makes sense, but this is the start of the Inner MBA for me. The one thing I wanted to close with, in addition to kind of recapping what I currently see as the end of this program for me, is Rose Macario. If I say her name wrong, I'm so sorry. She's the former CEO of Patagonia. She did an interview with Tami Simon at the end of the orientation yesterday, and Tami asked her to just bless us, bless the people that were on the program. So I'm passing that blessing on to you, whoever you might be that's tuning in. And she just, asked for some words of wisdom, and I really loved what Rose shared, so I wanted to share it here as well. And she said, ask questions that are so big that only life can answer them. So whether you're joining me on this Inner MBA program or not, or whether you'll just be tuning in to my journey, we're all on this journey of life, together. There's different things showing up, different opportunities, different areas for us to grow. But I hope whoever you are and wherever you're tuning in from, that over the course of these next 9 months, so it is September 21st, the equinox today, or maybe it's the 22nd, but I hope wherever you are between now and 9 months from now, I'm not smart enough to do the math present moment, but I hope that you ask questions that are so big that only life can answer them. Thanks for tuning in. Take care out there.